Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey, welcome everybody. It's a big Friday edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Along with G. Bush and Jason Lloyd, I'm Adam the Bull. We have Anthony, Earl, Mike, Steve, all on the other side of the glass. We're back on WKYC Channel 3 today for the first time in a month.
Yes, sir.
We'll be live here on YouTube till about 12:20 something. What time do we end? 12:20? 27. Okay. And then 12:30 we'll show back up on WKYC Channel 3 or the WKYC Plus app. Make sure you check us out there. Jason, what are you doing over there?
You looking for the keys, man?
No, I was looking for the. I lost my IFB. I guess that's a bad time to look for it.
Yeah. I was wondering what you were doing.
I don't know where it went. So
one of life's great mysteries.
And got swallowed up, bro.
Nobody knows.
It's not my car.
I have to mute my phone.
Yeah, look, you're a mess. I was up at 2:30 this morning.
Why?
Because I'm old and I had to pee.
Yeah, it's hard to go back to
sleep.
Can't go
back. I like my eyes. It was one of those. Bing!
Yeah.
And you know, like you're screwed.
And then your mind's just.
And I don't want to look at the phone. I sleep with the phone next to bed, which I know is a bad habit, but we don't have house phones.
Once you look at the phone, it's over.
And we don't have alarm clocks.
Right.
My wife uses the Alexa.
Yeah.
And I use my phone because we don't have a house phone.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep. I can't sleep without the phone because, my mom lives alone. She's getting older.
Sure, yeah.
My in-laws are older. Our oldest is out of the house now. So I would never have a restful night's sleep if they had no way.
Right.
So I didn't want to look at the phone. and I looked at it, and then it was over.
That's it. Once you look at the phone,
it was like 3:15. Yeah. I laid there till 3:30, and I got up and did the dishes and cleaned the kitchen, and because there's everything I should have done last night before I went to bed, and I was too tired. I didn't do it.
So you were feeling guilty internally, and that woke you up.
So at 4 a.m. I was loading the dishwasher and sweeping the floor.
And not waking people up.
AJ had to get up at 5:30 anyway for weightlifting for football.
So don't that mean you got to take him at 5:30?
Yeah.
So
I did that all winter. 3 days a week for swim all winter. They lifted at 6 a.m. They had to be there at 6.
Man, boy,
up at 5:30.
Boy, you might well go ahead.
I was up at 5:30.
You might as well go ahead and sleep. You might as well go ahead and wake up, charge that to the game. We used to do that in the morning workout. We used to go out and hang out, and then it get to a point where you'd be looking around and you'd be like, man, it's already 2:30. By the time we go over here and get this burrito buggy, it's going to be 3. Workouts is at 5:30.
Yeah. Might as well stay up.
We might as well get that Grand Theft Auto in, try to pass that board real quick, hit right all. And it was ridiculous. I was just talking to my brother the other day. He said, bro, some of the stuff that we was doing, how people tell you, I would love to go back. And he was like, I would throw up in my mouth a little bit because of the stuff that we had to do.
But he'd still want to go?
He is like, at this point, no. Because he was like, I realized that we were poor back then. We exercised way too much, and we still had to go to school. Yeah. The only thing that kept you alive was the fact you was naive and didn't know there was a real world out here. I was like, yeah, you're right, bro. I couldn't have did none of that, man. I was out of pocket.
Yeah.
It was like when we were at BG, I saw like all the fitness equipment and everything and like all the college kids working out for free.
Yeah.
Like what a great benefit that is.
It is.
I never took advantage of it.
Right.
Never. I never took advantage of that in college.
I used to look at the people when we used to go to the rec center. I'd be like, man, y'all can just do this at your own leisure.
Yeah, that's
true.
We actually have to do this.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like, this is nasty work. This is nasty.
All right, well, a lot to get to today. We'll be talking about the Cavs later in the show. We'll be joined by a guest.
Jamal Collier, who is an ESPN sideline reporter and analyst who's covering tonight's Pistons-Cavaliers game as part of ESPN's all-access situation. So
no Donovan and no James Harden tonight.
Harden's questionable. Donovan's out.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Donovan? He's just tired.
He injured his groin.
He's got a groin injury he's dealing with. All right, get it out of the way now. So we'll get into that later. We'll get into the Guardians later. Before we dive into the Browns and everything Browns related, I got to say, we've talked about could the Browns be interested in one of these other quarterbacks in the draft guys? Like, could we see, because obviously Fernando Mendoza is going to be gone. Could the Browns at some level, on some round, be interested in another one of these quarterbacks? One of the names that is often mentioned is Garrett Nussmeier, But today, Garrett Nussmeier, I crossed him off my board, Mike.
Tell us why, Bull.
Do you have the tweet or no?
No, you said you
Garrett Nussmeier today was asked who the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL are. This is what he said.
Dylon. No, go ahead.
What's Dylon?
I have it here, Bull. You ready?
You have it?
I mean, I'll tell you, his top 5 quarterbacks were Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, anybody that stupid I can't hire him as quarterback. I can't have him as quarterback. You can't have Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and an ancient Aaron Rodgers as your top 5 quarterbacks.
Is that just talking about his just personal preference?
No, I don't accept.
That's a red flag on decision.
That's a red flag. He's off the list.
So Scott Petrak tweeted it out. There's no context. It wasn't who are your 5 favorite quarterbacks. It just said he put Baker Mayfield, Mahomes, Rodgers, Stafford, and Goff in his top 5 NFL.
How does he not have Burrow, who went to LSU and won a national title there?
Or like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Come on now.
Sure.
I wonder if he was asked who are your favorite
Yeah, but you're right. But
He went
the guy
to
went to LSU. It is weird.
Maybe he got a relationship with him. Maybe they got
Maybe they got bad blood?
Nah, maybe like, hey, you know how a lot of the players, they play and go work out with some of the pros, before they get into, college. Maybe he, was thrown with Baker Mayfield and golf.
I don't know that I can trust a guy who thinks Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff are top 5 quarterbacks.
Are all of those guys number 1 picks he mentioned?
Goff,
Baker,
Mayfield. Were they taken in the first round or
Rodgers
first?
was not.
Rodgers
Mahomes wasn't first
Mahomes
overall, neither was Rodgers. But they were all first-round picks. Yes.
So,
Before we dive in, Ant he said it for a very rare time. Ant goes, I have something to say in the intro. Could I say it?
Oh, wow.
So,
Anthony?
Hey, I got a quick shout out. My friend I found out yesterday is dating a daily listener now of UCSS. So shout out Art and Marissa. True love is disgusting, but I'm cheering for you guys.
Why is it disgusting, Anthony?
I mean, ain't you in love? Like, I
be
mean,
careful saying that.
bro,
Bree's not watching.
you've been in a
You've been in a relationship
since the show started.
For a second, I was like, oh, did they break up?
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was thinking.
You know,
No,
McNuggets
but
be
I
keeping
can't
that
be
on the
nice to my
wrap.
friends.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's just like busting your friend's chops.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Are you against public displays of affection, Anthony?
Yeah, Bree can hold my hand, and that's as far as it goes.
That's
You won't kiss her in public?
like a small one, but
He's still kissing her on the cheek.
All right.
All right, Anthony.
All right, well, let's dive into our first topic, guys.
Well,
We got a lot
congratulations to
get into.
the happy couple, by the way.
Yes.
Congratulations. Make sure you guys follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It costs $0 and 0 cents. We have some special shorts and things that Luke Becker and our guys cut for behind the scenes as Anthony goes to fix Bull's mic real quick, so I'm going to keep stalling. But make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It takes about half a second. It costs $0 and 0 cents, and it helps UCSS out a lot in the long run. So, Anthony, thank you for fixing the mic. And with that, let's dive into our first topic, guys. We're going to start with the quarterback position once again. Yesterday, it was announced that the Colts are allowing Anthony Richardson to seek a trade. The expected return for Anthony Richardson in a deal, according to both NFL.com and ESPN, is around a 4th-round pick, maybe a 5th-round pick with incentives to become a 3rd or a 4th, depending on playing time.
Yeah.
Jason, Zach Jackson was on the show yesterday and said Malik Willis was plan A. If not, he mentioned Anthony Richardson before this report came out.
Yeah.
Are you buying any chance that the Browns would be in on the Anthony Richardson sweepstakes?
I mean, I think they'll probably kick the tires on a lot of them, but I would pass on this one. First of all, you're not going to get a 4th-round pick.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you're not getting a 4th-round pick. What did Zach Wilson get when the Jets?
I think it's 7.
I meant to look that up. Like usually, it's like a 6th or 7th. What did Darnold get when he left the Jets? Would Carolina give up a 5th, maybe? I think. Like that's the comp. What is Anthony Richardson in his career?
I mean, the Browns didn't get that much for Baker, and
No.
now they were in a spot where you knew they had to trade him.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, he's way better than this guy.
No, there's the thing.
Real quick.
Yeah.
According to, once again, this is AI, so I hope AI is right. I'm reading this right. Yeah. No, it is right.
Yeah.
Darnold got traded from the Jets to the Panthers for a 2021 6th, a 2022 2nd, and a 2022 4th.
Oh, okay. There's more value
Zach
there than I
Wilson
thought.
did get traded for it was Zach Wilson in the 7th for a 6th.
Yeah.
So it was a pick swap for Wilson.
There's nothing there.
Sam Darnold, as bad as he was, I didn't think his reputation was as bad as Anthony Richardson.
Well,
was.
I would think this would trend more towards Zach Wilson than
yes,
because I mean he got benched for 2 games for being a child, essentially, and took himself out of a game because he was tired. Like, I'm good, and maybe he's learned from that. Yeah. And I again, he can go on somewhere else and he can have a great career, but you have to look at what situation you're putting him in. And would the Browns have success developing him? I don't think so. No. So this would be a hard pass for me. I want a quarterback. The Browns have done this enough with guys who have maturity issues. The last thing you need is to go and find another project type guy who has maturity issues. Like, been there, done that, rinse and repeat. I'm good.
Yeah, this one let's talk about it strictly from a football standpoint. When Anthony Richardson came out, he only had, I believe, 1 or 2 years playing at Florida. As a matter of fact, I think he was a full-time starter once. In that year, after his junior year when he came out, he threw for about 2,500 yards, about 17 interceptions, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. However, one of the things that people had urged him a little bit was to come back and work on some of his progressions in terms of being a better passer. And he came out and he went to the combine and he ran an electric 40 time. He came out, jumped high, ran fast, and had a very strong arm. He had a tremendously strong arm. However, some of the things that followed him in college, because he didn't have the foundation of being a seasoned passer or a polished passer, understanding what defense was trying to do to him, that those things kind of followed him into the league. I mean, he's still a very good athlete. However, when you take a look at some of the things that has happened with the injuries, one of the injuries was I go back to a couple of years ago when you had him playing in a game, and he was just looking at the coverage, and the guy came off the corner, and he failed to account for him for the protection because they couldn't block it. So he was hot, he got hit, got blasted, right? So he's a guy that has a lot of talent. He's a guy who has a lot of physical raw ability, but I agree with Jason. There's a lot of things going on in terms of they gave him opportunity to seek a trade. I don't think his trade value is that high. I think he will stick somewhere. Somebody will give him an opportunity. I don't know what the pick
if I'm
will
the
be.
Steelers, I'd do it. If
Right.
I'm Pittsburgh, I'd do it.
If you got like a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, right? And you're like, okay, well, we kind of know where that thing is going to lead
If you
to.
have a grown-up organization that's run by adults that has had success over the last 30 years, that's desperately seeking a franchise quarterback, you take a shot.
You kick the tires
The
on
Browns are not that team as far as I'm concerned.
And I would say this: if you look at what they have, if the Browns want projects that they got to really see if they got something in, and they want to see those projects do something, you got 2-3 guys that you already got that is in comparable places where he is. I just don't see it with Anthony Richardson, but I think somebody will take a flyer on him.
I think I happened to be listening to NFL radio yesterday. You guys remember Kirk Morrison? He was a linebacker.
Oh, yeah,
right?
For the Raiders.
Played for the Raiders, played for the Bills at the end of his career. I thought he made a really interesting comment. He said, they were talking about Anthony Richardson, and he said, and the host, I think it was Bruce Murray, was like, yeah, he's a developmental quarterback. And Kirk Morrison goes, the NFL's not really a developmental league anymore. You can't. He's like, look at how many new coaches. There's been 17 new coaches the last 2 years.
Yeah.
There's 5 coaches that have been with their team more than 5 years. So if you take a chance on a developmental quarterback, even if he gets good, if it takes too much time, you might not be the quarterback the coach that benefits from that.
Yeah.
The Browns already, as you said, have Shedeur Sanders, a developmental player, Dylan Gabriel, a developmental player. Whether we believe in them or not, they're not finished products. We know that.
Right.
So why would you bring in another guy? I know he's got some raw ability, but it makes way more sense for a team with an older veteran quarterback on a team that's like a franchise that has a good reputation, that's had success. Like, would be a perfect fit for him? The Rams.
Right.
As a backup to Stafford.
As a backup to Stafford.
Show him
Learn
right.
how to be a pro.
Yeah.
Learn under one of the best coaches in the league. And if he pans out, maybe Stafford only plays one more year. Maybe he becomes their starter 2 years from now after learning there. But for him to come here and compete for the starting job, come on. He's, there's a level of maturity that has to happen. It's hard for that to happen overnight. Obviously, he probably shouldn't have come out of college when he did. That's where you develop now. You got to develop in college, not really in the NFL. It's harder.
Well, he got his money, so he made that. That was before NIL.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
That was the thing. Like, before NIL and he came out, and people, when he went to the combine, he was listed as maybe a second round pick, but when he ran the way he did and his athleticism showed, it was a no-brainer. He had to go to the league. Like, at that point, where did he get drafted? 5th or something?
Around there.
He got drafted 4th. If you're going 4th overall,
right? Yeah.
You got to go. So he made that right decision financially, but I just don't think that he doesn't have the foundation that a passer should have leaving college. So now you add on that the fact that now it's the pros, people are faster, and you got to get it right down. You got to understand it today. I just think he might play. He might get a kick the tires of somewhere else. He reminds me a little bit of Trey Lance, right? Trey Lance went 3rd, I believe.
Yeah,
he went 3rd.
Got injured a few times, and every year, like once he's a free agent, people kind of throw his name out there because he's big, he's fast, he's strong, and you're like, man, I could see something in there, but Trey Lance never seems to really put it all together. I think he might be one of them dudes.
At that position, physical skills only get you so. It sounds weird to say.
No, yeah, you're right.
But physical skills only get you so far. If you don't have the buy-in and the mental makeup and the maturity to watch film and study and understand what defenses are trying to do, you're not going to go very far.
I will see. And I think
maybe he's learned. Maybe he's learned.
And look, maybe some people take a little bit longer. So Sam Darnold, he went from coach to coach to team, and look where he's at. I would caution, it'd be a cautionary tale that everybody who goes to another team that's a reclamation project is not going to have the same success as Sam Darnold.
And that's
in fact, most will not.
Most will not.
Yeah.
The Sam Darnolds are the anomalies. They're not the
right. They're the exception.
Everybody's
not the
looking
rule.
for the next Sam Darnold. It's like you may have to wait 5 or 6, 7, 8 years to find another one of those.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys like that that are in that scenario. And Anthony Richardson hasn't played as much as Sam Darnold had played. I mean, it took Sam Darnold, 7 years, 8 years?
Yeah.
Richardson's only played in 17 games. He started 15. He's got an 8-7 record despite throwing more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that tells you what win-loss record means, especially in a small sample size. He's more like Zach Wilson, like you said.
Now, if you would have told me, now this, and I don't want people to take this as being disrespectful, because I do think he can throw the football. He has a cannon for an arm, but you look at his skills and you look at people like Terrell Pryor, right? Terrell Pryor was a quarterback at Ohio State. We were always waiting for Terrell Pryor to put it together, but he turned himself into a pretty doggone good receiver for a couple of years. Like, I think if you ask me what I would do with Anthony Richardson, he'll probably get an opportunity to go somewhere else, and if that don't work, then it's starting to get late in the game, because now they're going to start to look at you as a career backup. Yeah. And if you're going to be a career backup, they want you to have the cerebral parts. They want you to be the mentor. They want you to be all those things. I would kick the tires on them if they said, "Hey, can you play tight end? Can you split out wide and catch the ball? I mean, you fat. You run 4.4. You jump 40 inches. Like, that may be something, but, that's down the line. But no disrespect, but I think that may be an option for him if the quarterback route don't work.
Yeah, so I think it looks like we're all on the same page here, Mike. None of us want Anthony Richardson.
Has anyone said yes? Like, I haven't seen anybody that said they want him.
I don't know. Zach said he thought it was part of the, could be on there.
I mean, you have to do your due diligence, kick the tires, all that stuff. Sure. All the whatever cliche you want to use.
Until you're sure you have your quarterback, you have to exhaust every possibility at the position.
Yeah.
Consider anything.
And that includes the draft, which is where we're headed next, guys. Boy, you sent me this
Let me throw this real quick.
Okay,
just so you know, Malik Willis, Malik Willis compared to him that's even a tremendous upgrade. Like if you looked at between Malik Willis and Richardson, Malik Willis is a better prospect than him, especially throwing the football.
And the feeling around the league is that Malik Willis has now been developed.
Right, he's been in a system where
he's matured, he's developed, he's a better player than he was, and I don't think people think that way about Richardson. Who knows?
We'll see. Yeah, let's talk a little draft, though, because this morning the quarterbacks are going through their combine circuit.
Yeah.
And Ty Simpson was asked by Mary Kay Cabot about the possibility of being drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Boy, you sent me this clip. We can't play it.
I didn't know this.
I didn't either. So let's address it.
Do we have the clip, or we can't play it?
We can't play it because it's on NFL property, but I made a quote card of it. So
it's on NFL property. It's at the Indiana Convention
Center.
It's so
stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
but
I thought it was on the facility.
No, they're at the combine.
Oh, then I guess we could play combine stuff. But I don't have the clip in. I made a quote card. This is what Ty Simpson said when asked by Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, you putting it up there?
Of playing. Yep, I'll read it.
All right, so
Ty Simpson said, and I quote, "I'm pretty excited. My dad and Coach Monk go way back. They talk often. He texted him when they got the job. They've texted a bit. If I had the opportunity to play for the Browns, it'd be a dream come true. I'd be in the hands. They have the team they have, the organization." And then with Coach Monk and what he does with the offense, it's super QB friendly. He'd coach me hard if I were to go there, but he's going to do it the right way. So I'm super excited. That was Ty Simpson and Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah.
The possibility of being drafted.
So I didn't know. I don't know if you guys knew this. That apparently, not that it necessarily means the Browns are going to draft him, but that Ty Simpson's dad and Todd Monken have a relationship.
Yeah.
So obviously he knows Ty Simpson really well. I think
it goes back to Southern Miss, doesn't it?
Yes, he talked about recruiting him in college, and they just the only reason I thought it was a big deal is because if they do surprise us and draft Ty Simpson, I guess it would only be a surprise if they drafted him at 6. If they drafted him like at 26 or the second round, I guess it wouldn't be a huge surprise. But you got to believe that part of that is Todd Monken. If it ends up happening, I don't know that it will, but. I also saw, for what it's worth, I know a lot of people don't like him, and I'm not a huge fan, but Dan Orlovsky said that if you look at the first 8 games of the season, again, whatever it's worth, that Simpson looked way better than Mendoza.
Well, he got hurt. He did look great. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick.
Right.
Ty was,
but he also
and then he got hurt and he
has
kinda
only
fell
played
apart.
1 year.
Right.
And guys that only play 1 year in college have is not a big sample size.
Yeah.
But the small sample size there's been, including Anthony Richardson, including Mitch Trubisky, is not good.
Simpson's a little different in that because he was in the Bama program for
that's true.
and waited his chance. So it's not.
But same thing with Trubisky.
No, Trubisky was a junior when he came out. Simpson was his 5th year.
I know, but he had been in North Carolina his entire time.
But I'm saying it was
Mike
3 years.
He's there for 5 years.
Oh, yeah, 5 years.
5 years. Only started as his last season. So
and you give him credit for not bouncing around, but
he
doesn't mean he's going to be good.
I talked to Sean. I was doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And Sean King. This is when people started really evaluating the quarterbacks. And at the time, I remember he had Ty Simpson and Mateer as the top 2 dudes at the time, and Mendoza he had 3rd. And this was, I think, I think it was week 7 or week 8 that they was talking about him.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, we went back and looked at some of his film, and he was cooking. They got a good receiver, Jeremy Bernard, who's a guy that's going to get drafted. I like him a lot. And Ryan, what's his name? The receiver. He's the receiver from Alabama. He's on the cover of NCAA.
No.
Ryan Williams. He kind of fell off this year. He was dropping the ball. He really didn't look like the same type of receiver, but Ty Simpson was cooking. Like, you watch those SEC games, he was doing his thing, and then you hit week 8. He got a little bit of an injury, and by the time you got to the end of the season, it was like I didn't know who he was. By the time you got to the Indiana game, it was wow, man. He kind of hit a little bit of a wall. But I will say this though, I do think the Cleveland Browns. Now I'm not a Ty Simpson guy, but when you talk about draft thought process, I guarantee there's a lot of teams that will have him as the break glass. Go get him if he gets past a certain round. You say, well, what scenario, if we just playing hypotheticals, right? And you say, all right, well, in what way would you see the Browns possibly getting Ty Simpson? If Ty Simpson falls somewhere that they did not think he was going to be. Like, say, for instance, Ty Simpson falls to the 4th round. It's a 4th round pick. I think a lot of teams will say, well, hold on, we had him at one point in time in our evaluation being a top 5 quarterback. Well, hold on now. This is great value.
So you think he could last to the 4th round?
No, I'm just saying if.
Okay.
If. Now, I don't know.
We don't know. It's hard to guess anymore because we base our judgments on mock drafts, and after what happened with Shedeur Sanders last year, you never know. You can't. You know how you trust. You don't know if you can trust them.
I'm kind of gun shy on telling where people gonna get taken.
Yeah, who knows?
But Christian Ponder went in the first. EJ Emanuel went in the first round.
For what it's worth, and once again, mock drafts, a futile exercise this far out from the actual NFL draft. Yahoo Sports has been putting one out every day based on the latest intel from the Combine. They have the Browns taking Simpson at 24.
How do you put out a mock draft every day?
That's so stupid.
Every day this week they're putting one out.
That's so dumb. I don't,
just every day this week.
Just this week.
Oh.
I don't see. He's at this. I mean, it's February. He's QB2. There's going to be 2 that go in the first round. He's going to go in the first round.
Right, but we thought last year Shedeur Sanders was QB2.
Yeah, but there was 2 quarterbacks that went in the first round.
That's true. There will be a second quarterback
going
in the first round.
This is not going to be. I would be stunned if one quarterback goes in this draft and that's it in the first round.
Right. There will be another one who will go, but we don't know who it's going to be. Who else could it be?
Somebody will be.
I mean, there's a bunch it could be.
Quarterbacks seem to get pushed up a lot. Like, say, for instance, if you're, I don't know, say you're the Cardinals, right? You're like, well, we don't know if we want to, like Kyler Murray, or now you got Ty Simpson, he's sitting there. People will talk themselves into quarterback. Easy. Like, they just do it. It happens every year. And you don't think, I was surprised Zach Wilson went number 2.
I was too.
I was like, all right, Zach Wilson, that's what's up. But no, I don't. I do think, I didn't know that Todd Monken, I didn't know he had his peoples or whatever.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And obviously, how big is Ty Simpson, Mike?
Hold on one sec. He is listed at 6'2", 210.
All right. So about the same.
He was 6'2" at the Combine?
They're measuring in today.
Yeah, they've been.
Oh, okay.
So he and Shedeur and Malik Willis are all around the same
size.
Same size.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Shout out
Here's
to
one thing I'll say.
You said real quick, Bo, and then we could. Jason, sorry to cut you off. You said in the text this morning you think this at least gives you more belief that the Browns could draft a Ty. Not that they will, but they could make a play at Ty Simpson. Is that just because the Monken connection?
Well, I just think overall the Browns are more. That was more of a comparison. I think the Browns are more likely to draft Ty Simpson than they are to trade for Anthony Richardson. That was my point. Not that they're necessarily more likely to draft him because Todd Monken knows the family.
I don't think Monken plays into it at all. It's not like they went out and hired Todd Monken because they're going to take Todd. You know what I mean?
No. I agree.
I don't think there's.
I agree. But if they were thinking about drafting him and Todd Monken was like, nah.
Well, sure.
He could.
Could be. Yeah, they're certainly going to ask.
Yeah. No, I'm not reading into this like that means they're going to draft. They're more likely to draft him.
No.
When I said to you in the text that they're more likely to draft him, that was in comparison to trading for Anthony Richardson. I think that's more likely.
I do believe. You mentioned that. I do think the top 2 guys to be in competition is Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. If you were to ask me which is more likely, that they go out and trade for a quarterback or draft a quarterback, I would say more likely they would draft a quarterback somewhere in the rounds where they took Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on a person who they may have had a good evaluation on in college and think that they can be another project to kind of come in. Now, that person, if you're a person who thinks that all 3 of them might not be in the quarterback room, it may be a situation where they do draft a guy and he's competing and that guy goes head to head with Dillon Gabriel and they elevate one of those guys above Dillon Gabriel and try to move him. I just think it's more likely that in general, a project quarterback third is too high to me. I would not be able to have 5th through 6th, however you got, we can do that. But if it's 3rd and 4th, I need them for receivers and linemen and whatever else we got. I wouldn't mind a tight end too. I wouldn't mind a couple of different positions. But I think it could be possible.
I don't see any point in the Browns taking a quarterback unless they take him high, because you just drafted 2 quarterbacks late last year. Why take another one now?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. So either I think the Browns should either draft a quarterback high or not draft a quarterback at all.
Yeah.
And if they don't think there's anybody worth drafting high, then don't draft a quarterback. And then either bring in a veteran or whatever you want to do. But I don't see the point of taking another mid-round quarterback.
No, every time we talk like this Ty Simpson thing, I just
Yeah.
keep thinking back to last year, and we just dismissed Jackson Dart.
Right.
Everybody dismissed him.
Yeah.
He's not.
I'm not dismissing the Ty Simpson
but I'm just
thing.
saying, no, we never had a serious conversation.
No, we did not.
About Jackson Dart being a franchise
Right.
quarterback, and the Giants are head over heels in love with him.
Right.
So,
I
and
like
it feels like
Jackson
we're
Dart.
doing the exact same thing with Ty Simpson.
I don't think
nobody's taking him seriously.
I am.
Oh, you think they're going to take him?
I think there's a possibility they could.
I mean, I would. My stance last year was
Yeah.
there's no quarterback worth taking, so you have to punt on this year.
Right,
because
but
they're
that was
telling
not
you-
the case.
and that was not the case.
Yeah.
There
In
was
fact, there
another
were
one
3
worth
quarterbacks.
taking. There was another one worth taking.
Yeah.
So I just think you got to be very careful in how you look at these guys that you would dismiss. That you would say, well, he's not.
I definitely think
I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying you in general because I get the feeling people in Cleveland are not thinking Ty Simpson is a viable candidate.
I think if the Browns drafted Ty Simpson in the first round, we'll even not even say 6, if they drafted him at 24, I think most people would not be happy.
No.
Most people are going to be angry if that happens, which is silly because we don't know.
Why do you think they'd be angry
Because
if they took him at 24?
what's that?
If they took him at 24,
Because I think first of all the Shador portion of the fan base.
yeah, but those aren't Browns fans.
Doesn't want to hear. Well, there's still not all of
The
them.
Shador fan base are not Browns fans.
There's a high percentage. Yes, you're right. But the percentage of the fan base that is of the Shador group that is in the fan base, they don't want to hear about anybody else. Now, then there's another, and I think this is I just my impression, big chunk of the Browns fan base that just doesn't think any of these quarterbacks are any good.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to like it for that reason. I think a lot of people have whether you like Shador or not, I think there's a lot of people that just feel like, let's just see if he's any good this year. And if he is, we found it. And if he's not, we'll draft a quarterback next year.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of people that feel that way. And the biggest thing is none of the mock drafts have Simpson going to the Browns. And people judge a draft and react based on mock draft. It's ridiculous, but that's
so
true.
silly.
It's so
silly.
stupid,
Yahoo
but it is.
today did have him taking Simpson.
What's that?
The Yahoo one that came out.
The
today.
Yahoo one today. Okay,
Yahoo
maybe
5.0.
I'm telling you,
5.1.
I'm telling you that if mock drafts start putting Simpson to the Browns, then more people will be okay with that move, which is stupid, but
Yes,
it is what it
stupid.
is.
It's
I look at it from so specifically why wouldn't I like Ty Simpson? Well, I would look at it and say, okay, well, he has a small body of work. He struggled down the backstretch. Not to say that that's an indicator that he's going to be, he's going to be super trash. But those are things you got to take into consideration. Also, I look at it like this: you got 2 premium picks, right? Invest in what you got. Get you a receiver. Get you some linemen. Put enough around people so that you can get an evaluation. If in that time you put the pieces around, and Shador Sanders doesn't play well, and if some people say, hey, he's terrible, right? He's not good. Well, if he ain't good, guess what? You got a high draft pick, and you can draft whoever you want, right?
Right, but like I said last year, you never know if you're going to be high enough to draft the guys you want.
That is true.
Ultimately, it comes down to, do the Browns believe Ty Simpson is a prospect worthy of a first-round pick? If they do, they should take him.
Yes.
If they don't, they shouldn't.
Yes.
That's that simple.
And that's why we keep. I kept saying, I pay you for your evaluation. Right. Andrew Berry, do you believe Ty Simpson can be a franchise quarterback? Then we have to take him.
That's right.
If you don't think he is, then
you don't. Then I don't
we're
care.
going to keep passing.
Right.
Percent chance you hear Ty Simpson's name as in the first round for the Browns.
15%.
I'd put it
20.
I'd put a little bit
8.
higher than that. I'd put it higher than 15, but not.
I got it. I got coming in at 9.3%.
9.3.
9.3.
Mike,
8.
you're the lowest of the bunch.
I mean, just trying to predict a player to a team. I can't imagine a world that take him at 6. So trying to project
Right.
a player at 24 is damn near impossible.
It'll be. at the owners' meetings last year, and I don't know if I'm going this year or not, at the owners' meetings last year is when a lot of the combine stuff started to come out that I heard.
Right, yeah.
So I'll be curious, like, I mean, the combine stuff will start trickling out next week, like how the quarterbacks look and everything. It'll start.
Yeah.
But it really heats up, like the juice or whatever you want to call it, really heats up around the owners' meetings. And that's when I think you start seeing who's moving up boards and who's moving down boards. And
well, if you look, I'm trying to let's look at the. Is there any team drafting between 6 and 24 that could take that you think realistically, without trading up,
could take a quarterback?
Could take a quarterback
for sure.
Of course.
There's always a team.
Well,
the Falcons took Michael Penix.
Miami's at 11, Bull.
Miami at 11, sure.
Theoretically, Atlanta at 13 if they're not in love with Michael Penix. The Colts at 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minnesota at 18.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The Steelers at 21.
Yeah.
All right, so there are a lot. So, if the Browns do want them.
Matter of fact, let's move that down. I got it at 2.3%.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just such a
less
small.
than two.
Or, what if the Browns traded the 6th pick to the Bengals?
Stop. We're not going to give you
For the
You ready
10th
for the next topic?
Wait a second. For the 10th pick, blah, 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 and then at 10, the Browns take him.
That
It
is
happens.
that
It's going to
is
get you Caleb Downs, which is your secret agenda every day.
and we're going to get this man Caleb Downs, and we're going to take Ty Simpson. No, we're not giving you that. Matter of fact.
Well, Sonny Styles is not making it to 10 FBS.
Oh, no. He's not getting it. Hey, man,
Such a great name, too. That's a great football
Sonny
name.
Styles?
Sonny Styles.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about him in the KYC show because that was
that's an awesome. I love that name.
Incredible performance.
My name was Sonny Styles.
All right, guys,
I was
let's
a
get
football
to
player.
our next topic. A quick reminder, G. Bush did an Ultimate Brown show yesterday. I'm going to read you the headline because it's a doozy. G. Bush, the king of headlines.
Yeah.
For his Ultimate Brown show, quote, the truth behind the Browns quarterback speculation everybody missed. Why Willis talk is fool's gold.
That's fool's. By the way, these topics today, y'all got Malik Willis looking like a shining star. I expected to come talk about Malik Willis, but Malik Willis compared to Richardson and Ty Simpson is War Moon. I'm like, man.
So you'd rather have Malik Willis than either of those guys?
Than these two. Like, this wasn't even close. And I'm not even a Malik Willis guy. I think he's not nothing to write home about.
Zach really thinks the Browns are very interested in Malik Willis.
I don't understand
Jason
how.
not buying it as much.
Well,
I don't get it.
no, I don't. It's like I said yesterday. Everybody's guessing.
Yeah,
Some of us have a little bit more insight behind the guess,
right?
But it's still a guess.
Yeah,
it's an educated guess,
right?
And
Sure.
some of them are just throwing darts, but I don't think that they would pursue them. But I won't be stunned if they do. They need a
make
quarterback.
sure you check out G's Ultimate Brown show. It's on the YouTube page. Great listen. All right, guys. The NFLPA decided it was not going to make its annual report cards public.
So
and then they all got leaked.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They didn't decide to make it.
The NFL said they were not going to make it.
No.
It
That's
went to
not.
court.
It was arbitrated. They went to arbitration.
Oh, get to arbitration.
The owners wanted to keep it quiet. They lost. The owners won in arbitration, and it got out anyway.
Of course it did.
And
The owners, it was always going to get out.
The owners must be so pissed.
I was actually going to float to my editors that we should just do the Athletic should just do it. But I mean,
by interviewing players,
just give them the anonymous surveys.
Oh yeah,
we just do exactly what the NFL did.
Right.
But I mean, this is
got
the
out
same
anyway.
thing. Yeah, it's always going to get out.
Yeah,
it got out for the second consecutive year. The Browns ranked 30th out of 32 teams in the overall grades. This is how they graded out, grade by grade. Treatment of families, they got a D-. Home field, a B-. Travel, a D-. Food and dining, a D+. Nutritionist/dietitian, C+. Locker room, F. Training room, C. Training staff, C+. Weight room, B+. Strength coaches, B+. Position coaches, B-. Offensive coordinator, D+. Defensive coordinator, A-. Special teams coordinator, D. Head coach, C-. That was the lowest grade any head coach got. general manager C, and ownership C. So the highest grade.
General manager C was tied for the second worst.
Tied for the second worst.
Only Joe Shane was worse. He was tied with Duke Tobin of the Bengals.
So defensive coordinator was their shining star with an A-, and their locker rooms dead last with an F. Guys,
I mean, they got terrible grade. The only good grade they got, the guy's out of here, was defensive coordinator. They got their weight room got a decent grade, and their position coaches got a decent grade.
They just redid the weight room.
Yeah, they just got that in the weight room.
So, I mean, a lot of these things you don't care about. I mean, the fact that the Bengals got an F on treatment of families, too. I mean, that's just embarrassing. I heard somebody was complaining, saying, oh, the players are all spoiled. Well, no. Other teams got A's and B's. If the players were all spoiled, well, then every team would have a bad grade there.
I wonder what goes into. Do they have a breakdown of the questions on what goes into treatment of families? What are they
I don't
saying?
know.
Like, do you?
I'd like to know that too.
Do you speak when you come in? Or?
It's the waiting rooms the family rooms that they have for them.
Yeah.
It's the where they put them in the stands. I think. It's stuff like that. It's like daycares for small kids. Okay. It's stuff like that.
There is no excuse to get a bad grade in that.
I probably would tend to agree with that.
You got to take care of the families of the players. I mean, come on.
They are.
You're a multi-billion-dollar operation. Jimmy Haslam's got money to burn. I mean, come on, Jimmy.
There's a lot.
What are you doing, pal?
There's a lot. Dang. Tell us how you really feel, players.
Yeah.
They was like, man, they had the food is nasty too.
Yeah.
Is the food trash? That's
apparently so.
Like, that's crazy. Like,
Jason, you eat the food there sometimes. What do you got to say about that?
I mean, what they give us is a lot different than what they give the players.
I will.
The weekday food actually, like they feed once a week, they give the media lunch. I thought that's pretty good. The stadium food's not great, but the weekday lunch is pretty good.
Let me throw this out at you, McNuggets. Coming at it from a different angle. I watched about a week ago. I was watching the top 10 programs in college football, from their facilities to their weight room to their food services. They have, like, at the university, I believe it's either Alabama, right? I can't even believe it's Alabama or Florida State.
Yeah.
But they literally have this hotline where your parents can come and submit their recipes, and their chefs will make you.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Make you. So
they were doing that under Saban. I saw that. Yeah, Saban was doing that.
And so there's like we want our dudes never going home. We want them here. So we want them to have home here. So they would have all this stuff.
Smart.
And I'm like, that's brilliant. Smart.
I mean, 3/4 of the people in Alabama don't have teeth.
You're right.
So it's hard to eat, but only half. Only half.
But when you come from a program, let me tell you like this: college football. Like the way that you are idolized, the fact that the money, the facilities, the weight rooms, those facilities and stadiums are better than pro stadiums. They're bigger, they have more money, they cater to the players, and now with NIL, you got to go overboard. So a lot of these people are coming from college at a better space than they were in coming into the pros, and they get here and they're like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit of a step back. So.
The players think that Stefanski stunk.
That's not a surprise.
They also think that Berry stinks.
And Haslam.
And what?
And Haslam.
Although, like,
where does Haslam's C grade rank amongst the owners?
I can do a little research.
I mean, I know Mike Brown had
Rudy
was
below him, which is hilarious.
What's that?
The Roonies were below Jimmy. Which
I
is
don't
hilarious.
understand that.
Why don't they like him?
I guess
he's cheap.
The only
Roonies
thing
are cheap.
Right, the cheap owners players don't like him, which I get.
But who's a better owner, Jimmy Haslam or?
From a fan's perspective, you obviously.
No,
the
but
Rooney's,
I'm saying who's a better owner?
Oh, Rooney's a way better owner than Haslam.
Of course.
But from a player's perspective, the one positive about Haslam is he spends, and the players like that. Although he's still, even with that, he's still got a lousy grade.
The Bengals got a D+ for ownership. The Cardinals got an F for ownership.
Dang.
That's bad if you're worse than Mike Brown.
I mean, F?
Chiefs got a C+.
Bidwell has an awful reputation.
Yeah.
I'm keep going. They don't. I'm going into. They don't have them sorted by.
Who's the best?
Else is bad. The Jets got a B.
I think the Jets got a B.
Wow.
The Steelers ended up with a 32 out of 32 ranking overall. They got a D- in ownership. The Buccaneers got a D in ownership. Titans got a C.
I think Miami was ranked highly in ownership. I don't know if they were top. I think
Miami came out as the number 1 team overall.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miami had a overall ownership of A+.
You know what's so funny?
And Mike McDaniel got an A and got fired.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
Yeah.
And Raheem Morris got an A and got fired.
They
and
probably
replaced by the coach with the lowest grade.
They probably they let him do what he want to, man.
Yeah.
You know, Mike McDaniel don't seem like he has too many rules.
Yeah, maybe not.
The funny thing with Kevin getting the lowest grade, like that didn't surprise me at all. I told you guys he lost the defense. The offensive guy, I'm sure there are offensive guys who didn't like him too, but for the most part, the leaders of the offense still had his back, but the defense.
They were done with it.
They were done with
which
it.
I get.
Yeah. But the NFL is telling you it's Cleveland, it's not Kevin. Now we're going to find out who was right. We're going to find out.
Well, it might be both.
Well, maybe, but clearly the NFL feels very differently about him than a lot of the Browns players did.
Yeah,
and we'll
true.
find out who was right.
Yeah.
We'll find out very, very quickly who was right.
And man,
Yeah.
week one.
Yeah.
Week one. Come on now.
That would be
week one.
I mean, when Baker went to Carolina, they made that the week 1 game.
I need them.
That schedule was out before the trade.
I need to set them.
Was it?
Yes. 100%. The schedule was out, and then they traded him to
No,
Carolina.
you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
When did they trade Baker?
It was like
Because the
July.
schedule comes out in May. Oh, they
No.
traded Baker in July?
Yeah. It was
Yeah, it was
before
late.
You're
training
right.
camp. But the schedule.
Okay, so they didn't do
because
it on
there
purpose.
there were people who were annoyed that he went to, like, why would you do that? Why would you trade
When
him
you play
to
him week 1.
our week 1 opponent?
Will they? Are the Browns playing in Atlanta or is it here?
It's here.
Oh, okay.
Shador Sanders running out of the tunnel.
With Kevin Stefanski on the other side.
Will they shake hands before the game?
Stefanski was on the Part of My Take podcast this morning and was asked about Shador and said he had a great relationship with Shador, loved him, wished him the best, and hopes he has a successful, fruitful NFL career.
And then what we're gonna do? The setup is coming. You're gonna be at Cleveland week 1, and then send them to Tampa.
Yeah.
Week 2.
The Browns always seem to be at home. The Browns always seem to be at home in week 1 in recent years.
Very often, yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes.
Hey, listen, y'all can't lose that one. Let me just tell y'all something. Do
You're
not
sweating
play
that one.
bro.
It's February, and you're already sweating that one.
Yeah, I am.
But you know,
for
Kevin,
real, I really
even
am.
if Kevin Stefanski wins, he's not going to say anything.
Oh, he will be in the locker room, and they will bring his locker room speech.
Oh, yeah,
they
that's
will.
true.
They will broadcast that.
Yeah.
Under no, hey guys, Myles, do not play around. Listen. Oh my goodness, we can't have that. We cannot have. Listen, we can't
Especially
have
if
that.
the Falcons' offense looks great.
We cannot do that. I'm sorry.
Michael Penix dominating the field.
And Kevin Stefanski comes with the fist pump. Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, 176
I
on the
know.
ground.
Oh no! Listen, that day. Listen, I'm telling you, hey Steve, don't get mad. I'm already sick. I'm already sick.
Drake London, 112 and 2 touchdowns.
Jason, I'm already sick. Do not bring me in here Monday. I'm letting y'all know. I'm already sick.
Have the garbage can
Have the
ready.
garbage can ready.
Be
Yeah,
ready.
yeah.
We have
Be ready,
one
I'm
other
telling you.
Browns topic we got to get to. Our guest is being pushed back 10 minutes, so we're still going to get Jamal Collier in here in a sec. We got one more Browns topic we got to hit on real quick. Earl did a 216 this week.
I thought he was coming on at 12:10.
That's when he's coming on.
Oh.
It was 12 in the rundown. Now it's 12:10.
Oh.
Push back 10 minutes.
All right.
So 216, make sure you check it out. Earl put it up. The title of this one, Todd Monken turning up the heat on the Browns quarterback competition. So you want Earl
Ooh, that
and
is
Spencer German's
like
takes
early stage G. Bush headlining.
on
Hey,
the- yes,
That's
it
like,
is.
early, like
That's-
before you really got
Like that. Like
That's
listen.
got some savviness to it.
That is right on the edge. Like 2 more ticks,
Yeah.
he might be where it's like, man, is this clickbait? But he did kind of talk about it though.
Yeah.
See, it works. Shout out
So
to
make
Earl.
sure y'all check it out on our YouTube page. Guys, if you missed it, the Browns have proposed a new rule that will be voted on by the owners next month. The Browns are proposing, and Steve, you take tagboard full here, to expand the length in the future that you can trade a draft pick from 3 years out to 5 years out.
I didn't even know there was a rule in the NFL.
Yes.
Yes.
It is not actually, Jason, according to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk,
Yeah.
it is not explicitly written in any deal, any structure that you can't do more. It's just no one does more than 3 years out.
Well, then why do they
Why
have
do
to
they need a
take it
rule
to a
for
vote?
it? Then
then?
why do they need this proposal?
The
It's not
way
a rule.
Florio made it seem is it's
Like an unwritten rule?
and they want to establish that it's legal to do it for 5 years out. Will this be a good or bad thing for the NFL?
This is awful because you're trading GMs last 3 years on average.
If that.
So you're trading the next guy's wallet, which that current GM
We
didn't
see
care
it in
about.
the NBA all the time.
Well, that's why they have the Stepien rule.
Right. Are you in favor of that rule?
I think it's run its course. I think teams are smart enough now that they should be able to have their own jurisdiction. But again, the NBA caps it at 7 years out. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's 7 years out, and it's every other year you have to have it first.
Yeah.
So and it goes back to dipping into the next guys. Well, all these guys know when they get hired, they're there to cash checks and hopefully win a championship, but they're setting up with wealth, and they know they're going to get fired at some point. And it's probably going to end badly, but they're going to make a lot of money before they go. So when you are, the rule is to protect the franchise, not the GM. If you're a GM, you want to trade out as many picks as let the other guy worry about it. Let the next guy worry about it.
Why do you think the Browns are of all teams? Why do you think they're proposing this?
I have an idea.
You should swing. This is your hypothesis, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, you and
you're
I.
supposed to step right into this and hit a home
With the
run.
Arch thing?
Or it's 2029, right?
Well,
No, for Arch next year. You trade every pick until you possibly can to get Arch next year.
I mean, I don't know that they would trade 5 first-round picks to move up. I don't think any team would do that to
That's
take
wild.
a college kid.
That's wild.
Jimmy's like, hold my beer.
I would honestly say that anybody. So who's traded the most for a first round quarterback? Like I know RG3. They traded a bunch for him.
It was three first. It's never been more than 3 first-round picks.
Even when the people have said let's tank for a certain player.
Yeah.
Even with what was Trevor Lawrence, or I'd even say that Andrew Luck. Was Andrew Luck's career a failure?
I would look at it. I mean, he was good, but
I think it's disappointing, not a failure.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
disappointing.
failure's maybe a little too strong.
Yeah,
I agree.
It disappointing, and this was
And it's disappointing because he chose to walk away.
Right.
Had he stayed, it would not have been disappointing.
Probably not.
So
yeah.
if you're the coach, you're like, I moved from Peyton Manning. He did win another championship after he left.
Yeah.
And Luck, he just one day said, I had enough. And
Right.
it was like, wow.
Like, would they have traded him for 5 first-round picks? I probably, ultimately, when you have as injury-prone as Joe Burrow is, I would not trade him for 5 first-round picks. I wouldn't trade him for anything. There's nothing you could, if I were running the Bengals, there's nothing you could offer me that would make me trade Joe Burrow.
I'd probably tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's with it, even with the injuries, I would still not.
Once you figure it out and you got him, it's easier to get the other things. You can luck into somebody being good. You can luck in and be like, oh man, this defensive tackle's pretty good, or this linebacker, wow, we got him in the 6th round. He's pretty good. It's harder to luck into a quarterback. So once you got it, you just might as well just go ahead and sit on it. And like you said, 5 first-round picks. If you don't do nothing in 2 years, you ain't never even gonna see them picks.
No.
So what are you talking about?
It's just, I feel like if any other team had suggested this rule, it would have been an afterthought. But what are the Browns up to?
Anytime the Browns suggest anything, it's the Browns.
Yeah. What's your theory, Mike, on why the Browns?
It was the Arch Manning. It was, if it gets voted on and implemented next year, if they aren't bad enough to be in the number 1 position to draft Arch Manning, assuming he turns out to be the number 1 pick, trade 5 years. It doesn't matter. Get your guy. You have your quarterback for the dome.
In the end, if you think the quarterback's that good, there's no amount of first-round picks that.
Well, it depends on who has the pick and if they want a quarterback or not.
Most of the time, the team picking first needs a quarterback. Not always.
But we often see the Jared Goff trades, the RG3 trades. There's a bunch of trades that teams that go up and pay a high price.
And let me let y'all know something, man. Listen, y'all might want to chill out. See, the Browns is always getting creative. Stop getting creative. Y'all doing TurboTax stuff now. Mm-hmm. You trying to figure out. We already got in trouble once for this contract.
Yeah.
They just finally let us off probation. We off probation. We just gonna let it ride out.
I don't know. I think you're still. You're still paying the fines.
We still listen. The money we still getting that off, but they're like, oh, we'll let you on TV. Just go ahead and chill out. Don't be doing too much. Now y'all talk about these picks. They're like, no, listen. Haven't you learned your lesson? We're not gonna let you trade 10 picks in 10 years in a row to get you a quarterback. Like, it's not. And by the way, if I always said this, if the quarterback is that good, it don't matter how many picks you got. Say, for instance, if today it was like Patrick Mahomes, or if you had to redraft these guys, and people thought that this dude was the next coming of, I don't know, Bart Starr or something. Ain't nobody giving him. You can trade him all you want. If they need a quarterback, they're about to take him.
Who would be the first pick in the draft if you redrafted from scratch? Forget money. Disregard money, but everything else plays a role.
What draft?
You were the whole league.
Like a fantasy draft, basically?
The whole league?
No. It's not because fantasy you don't draft defensive players.
But I mean, like, in a
every player
scenario,
in the NFL.
Every team starts out with nobody.
Every team in the we're starting from scratch with the NFL.
Who would go one?
Who would go one?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen? Sure about that?
That was the first name that came to my mind, just because of age and injury and everything else.
He's the young. I
don't think it's Mahomes anymore. Is it? Is it still Mahomes?
Probably not. It probably is Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Josh is the first name, and I tried to make the case for Mahomes, but I think injuries and age, I don't think it's him anymore.
He'd still be probably second.
Pretty high. Pretty high.
For sure. If not number 2.
It'll be some mix of Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, and who else?
Drake May is based off age.
No.
He's
Drake May's not going that high.
He's tanked his
Caleb
stock.
Williams?
Huh?
Caleb? Who's the first super young quarterback drafted the last 3 years?
I still think.
You've
I
demoted
still
Herbert?
think Mahomes. I still think Mahomes. Mahomes would go 2. I think. The question is who would go 3.
Burrow versus Lamar debate, which is impossible.
Is there somebody else that you could put in there besides Burrow, Lamar? I still
no.
Burrow's been hurt a lot though. I don't know. I mean,
the biggest.
It comes down to preference.
The biggest question is who's the first non-quarterback taken. That's the question.
Well, it'll probably still be Myles Garrett, even though he's older.
It'll be Myles.
They would take him over a receiver.
I think so.
I think he would go before. I think Myles would be the first non-quarterback. I think Chase might be the second non-quarterback. Right. I think Jefferson would be the third non-quarterback.
Sewell will be up there too.
Who?
Penei Sewell. Just he's so young. He's still super young.
And this is going back. See, I was watching the show yesterday or a couple days ago. This is going back to when y'all had the topic of who was the most important position.
That was crazy talk.
So if you look at it, wouldn't we tell ourselves what's the most important position by the first guy, non-quarterback that goes on that board?
What's
so is pass rusher the next most important?
Because
Tyvis said it was corner. Was the next most important position after quarterback, and I said it was pass rusher or left tackle.
It's definitely pass rusher, left tackle, or offensive tackle.
But is it not fair to say it because Myles Garrett is such a freak that it skews everything else?
Well, that's fair.
That's why I think he's the next.
But
he's the first non-quarterback.
Chase and Jefferson would go before any cornerback, wouldn't they?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Like who's the best corner?
Who's the top
Surtain?
corner that would go?
Surtain, who's still young.
Right. Are you taking him before Chase?
No.
Or Jefferson?
No.
Nah.
I'm not.
Because Chase is going the way the rules are set up. Chase going to get his.
Yeah.
Like no matter if you're a good corner, and you hold Chase to 5 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown, he still affected the football game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like
So
I would say Myles would probably go. But it's funny how these names keep getting mixed in, taken out. Herbert, people don't like Herbert as much anymore.
No, his stock is down.
His stock is down. Patrick Mahomes' stock is actually down.
Jalen Hurts' stock is down.
Jalen Hurts' stock is very
down. Even Jaden Daniels, who everybody loved after rookie, his stock is down. Caleb Williams' stock is up.
Drake Mays
was up, but now has went a little down.
Trevor Lawrence is going
tiny bit. Trevor Lawrence is up. His stock is up.
I was having a conversation at the Combine about the whole why is no quarterback broken into those 4.
Yeah.
And the name I was given was, what about Drake May? I'm like, man, doesn't he have to do it again? And the guy I was talking to was like, I think he's pretty close to there. And Stafford was a name that was.
Well, Stafford's
should be in
old.
that. But the point was you're missing one of the four. Stafford should be in there.
Yeah, he should.
And
he should be included.
Admittedly, I've never put Stafford
Yeah,
in
he
the
should have
same
been.
category as the
Yeah,
other four.
he should have been. But there's no way I'd take Drake May over any of those guys.
Actually, if you
mean, Stafford, because Stafford's really old. But
if you look at the arrows, Baker was down from what he was. C.J. Stroud is super down.
Super down.
Jaden Daniels.
Even Burrow and Lamar are down. They're arrow down right now at the
You can even
moment.
say that Allen's stock is slightly down.
A little bit.
After the game.
Not a lot of stock up right now.
Bo Nix.
I think he's stock
slightly
neutral,
up,
maybe.
Slightly
I mean,
up.
Caleb Williams way up, Drake May way up,
Yeah.
Dak.
Arnold up.
Darnold up.
Yeah.
All the way up.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get to our next topic. We're going to get Jamal Collier in here in about 10 minutes. We did an Ultimate Cab show yesterday. Anthony joined me on the show. We actually taped it from in here, a little directing, producing, and talking all at the same time. So shout out to Anthony for being multifaceted and versatile. It's on our YouTube page. Make sure you check it out. All right, guys, tonight the Cavs play the Detroit Pistons in Detroit, but they will be shorthanded at the very least. If you look at the Cavs injury report, you can see Donovan Mitchell is out tonight with a groin injury. They have four other questionable players, including James Harden, Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, and Dean Wade. We're not sure if those guys will play. People who are in Detroit for shoot-around this morning said they saw Harden, Ellis, and Schroeder going through shoot-around. They did not see Dean Wade, so take that however you want it. We're going to focus on James Harden's injury and how that impacts the Cavs for this particular topic. So, Jason, I know we said yesterday Harden may not be completely negated his impact with this thumb injury. It's on his non-shooting hand, but for the sake of this discussion, let's say he takes a quarter of a step back. He's at 75% for the rest of the season. Who does that put the most onus on the rest of the roster to step up and kind of fill some of the production left behind by James Harden?
I think there's a couple ways to look at it. Are you looking at the answer is always Donovan. That's always the answer. Mm-hmm. It's always Donovan just has to do more. And I think it's a dangerous game to play because we talked about it. You know how far this team can go when Donovan's trying to pull the whole load. But I just think that's a realistic answer. You can do other things like Jalen Tyson. That's an easy name to throw in there. You expect more out of Jalen, particularly if James isn't on the floor. It should expand Jalen's role. But I think the answer always comes back to Donovan Mitchell right now. Especially, Evan, we know the season he's having. I still believe in him, but he hasn't had a great year. Jared Allen's playing great, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you Jared Allen has to carry the load when James Harden's not in there. Mm-hmm. It has to be Donovan.
Yeah, it's a little tough. It's tragic that Evan Mobley has fallen in people's mind the way he has. Even if you watch him, I just, sometimes I just look at it and say, I don't know where I would see him in a game where he's the focal point and he's supposed to step up. Like I just don't trust it.
Yeah.
So this should be the obvious move. This is the obvious person, right? Is Donovan's down, and that's the idea of the core four. The core four is, hey, we got four guys. If we miss one, we got other guys in the pipeline that's going to step up and do something. And it just seems like Evan Mobley's stuff, his offense is sporadic. We've talked about the rebounding and stuff. To be honest with you, offensively, I've been more impressed with Jared Allen's offensive game. I just think his little post shot in the paint, I thought he played very well against the Knicks. He's more of a finisher down low. So to me, the obvious choice should be Evan Mobley, but I'm gonna go off the beaten trail a little bit. I like what Dennis Schroeder has been doing. I like what Schroeder's been doing. He's been he's been very surprising. He's always annoyed me as a guy. He's always been pesky, but he's a clutch shooter. He's sneaky, quick to the basket. I just think Schroeder brings a level of fight that I think I wouldn't have mind being in these games where you got Schroeder, another guy that can do some things. So I'm gonna go with Schroeder.
Schroeder the shooter. I'll take I'll take Jalen Tyson as my guy. Obviously, he was playing great before James Harden got here, and he's kind of been off a little since James got here. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of reestablish his larger role again. I like this guy a lot. He's one of my favorite players on the team. I like that he contributes in every area. I think he's, obviously the Cavs have had a turnaround kind of physically, emotionally in the last few weeks. And even though he was here this whole season, I think him being a bigger part of this team, becoming more of a leader of this team in his second year, is a big part of the reason that they're overall playing a lot better and playing with more physicality and toughness. I think it started with him, and then some of the other guys have taken the mantle. But I'm curious, do we think Evan Mobley could get traded this offseason?
No.
No? How come?
I mean, I wouldn't put it at 0. I don't think hardly any players are totally untradeable.
Yeah.
Do I think there's even a decent chance? No.
Why not? Is there a guy who would be a better fit? Let's say LeBron comes back, and you got Harden, and you got Mitchell, and Jared Allen's thriving playing with these guys, and you got Tyson. Is there a better fit than Mobley for this team that you could get?
So you're telling me Donovan, LeBron, and Harden are on this team?
Yeah.
I'm telling you Evan Mobley's on this team.
You're saying they want him here?
I think Donovan wants him here.
I actually believe that LeBron James would be the best thing in the world for Evan Mobley. Because here's what we're going to do, right? So Donovan, his leadership style, didn't quite get through to Evan, right? Hasn't taken a step. James Harden, he's like, well, listen, I'm just going, if you can't finish, I'm going to just throw the ball to Jared Allen and figure out where I'm going to throw the ball. You might not just get pick and rolls. We're not going to call the plays for you. But when LeBron come here, he's going to take a look at the lay of the land and be like, all right, which one of these dudes needs to get to a certain level for us to win? Which one of these guys we need to count on? And he's great at doing that. He'll come in and immediately tell Evan Mobley, hey, we need you with me every day. And we're going to teach you how to do this, and this is what we need to get done. And it may be tough for a while. Evan Mobley may look sad a little bit, but that type of leadership will push him to the next level. Like I think if you get LeBron, that's the person you want to learn from. And then when it's all said and done with, Evan can come back and say, Evan, people were giving up on you. What was the catalyst? He was like, well, LeBron came in and he gave him a story about how LeBron had him sleeping in his car. LeBron put him on a 3,500 calorie diet, told him he couldn't eat no sugar. Like LeBron will do all kind of Jedi mind tricks, but I do believe, that it's best for him if LeBron does come back.
I don't love talking about LeBron because this team has a chance to win a championship, and I just think it does a disservice to this team to keep. But since we went there and since we talked about it, the thing that Tristan told me LeBron was really good at, and I don't know how it would be, but if they don't win it this year, what LeBron was really good at with young guys when he came back the first time was he told them, like, shut up and listen, do everything I tell you to say, and we're going to win. And that's exactly what they did. That's what he told Kyrie. That's what he told Tristan. That's what he told all of them. Like, do what I tell you to do, and we will win.
Did you see recently
And they did, and he did.
On a semi-related note, did she recently where Iman Shumpert said Jordan's better than LeBron? Did they have any bad blood, LeBron and Shumpert?
No. I mean, guys are allowed to think that. Like,
sure, of course they are. I just thought it was interesting.
No, I don't think. I mean, JR and LeBron were closer.
Right.
Than Shump.
Shumpert was friends with Kyrie, right?
Yeah, he's a Kyrie guy.
Kyrie, Shump, and as a young kid, they had like their own corner, and that was like it. And it was a weird locker room. It was really weird.
Yeah, like,
man, who was the? Oh, I got to
so
find
it was.
now.
It was the strange old.
And then Kevin Love would hang out with Fry and Jefferson, right?
Yeah, Kevin was by himself a lot, but he was all. Channing's really the one that brought them all together. When Channing got here is when he really broke through a lot of those cliques. Mm-hmm. It was a rough locker room.
Was Channing, Fry, George Niang before George Niang in that sense?
I see where you're going with it. That's probably apt. That's probably fair.
Channing Fry for a whole doggone playoffs just wouldn't miss. He just wouldn't miss against the Hawks or the Raptors, and it was nasty. I'm like, bro, this is unfair. They had Shumpert in that interview talked about it. I thought it was funny. He talked about how he didn't see anything wrong with Kyrie leaving. He's like, oh yeah, Kyrie left. He was like, he was supposed to do it. He's like, Kyrie is like Kobe, man. He was like, to be the guy, I gotta beat the guy. You know what I'm saying? I want my own situation.
But he didn't do it.
And Unc said he wasn't doing that. That's peak LeBron. That's foolhardy. You you tripped. You was not getting that off. He was like, well, I ain't say it worked. I ain't say it worked. Like, LeBron is LeBron, right? A lot of people thought they was gonna get that off during that time period.
Jordan McRae, that's who it was.
Oh, I remember him.
It was Jordan, Shump, and Kyrie had their own.
What happened to that guy?
He was
bounced around.
He was Imani Bates before that. Jordan McRae was the guy.
Oh, don't do that to Jordan McRae. He had a better career than.
But then he came back and he came between Naquan Tomlin. It's just,
all right.
The Cavs always get one of them dudes. Jordan McRae, we thought like he was the first summer league darling. I'm like, oh, Jordan McRae.
Yeah,
he get you 30.
He had a game like they sat everybody last game of the season. You'd have to look this up.
Yeah.
He had like 50 or something.
Yeah.
He had just an insane. He played like 47 minutes, scored a ton of points. And it was
Who was it before him? Was it Alonzo G?
Who was what?
Who was the
Jordan McRae before Jordan McRae?
No,
now, Alonzo G was a better player than that.
Zoe was supposed to be like a developmental guy. He never really developed. But to the Channing point, Channing was the one who like texted. It was dinner time, and he's like, "No, we ain't doing. Like, we're going to get like, come on, let's go." Like, and he's the one that brought the Kyrie Shump trio in with Kevin and RJ and LeBron and them, and he's the one that put it all together.
All right, let's continue our Cavs talk with our guest. A quick reminder, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media for never-before-seen behind-the-scenes content. You can see the social handles on your screen there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Costs $0, 0 cents, and helps UCSS grow as big as it can. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in NBA analyst and reporter for ESPN. It is Jamal Collier, who is part of the broadcast tonight between the Pistons and the Cavs all-access game. Jamal, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us today on UCSS.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Jamal, great to have you with us. There's not less excitement tonight because obviously Donovan Mitchell's not playing and James Harden might not play. But there's been a ton of excitement here in Cleveland, and we're not watching the Pistons, or at least I'm not watching the Pistons on any kind of regular basis. So impressed by the job they've done. Even though there's some guys missing, how exciting do you think this matchup will be tonight?
It's a good test for the Cavs, right? Like, they've been playing and on this roll here for a minute, really dating back to December. But the Pistons, as you've seen this week, they just had a test against OKC, against the Spurs, and they held their own against OKC's missing guys as well. One thing you know about going to play this Detroit team, it's just like any other Detroit team you've seen throughout history. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical. They're going to beat you up. It's going to be hard to get to the paint. And that's just like, regardless of who's on the floor for the Cavs, I think that level of physicality is important for them to get at this point in the season, and really sort of get used to that playoff level of physicality that they're going to see night in and night out. Detroit is really, there's no better match for that throughout the entire conference.
Have you gotten a sense from anyone in Detroit about what JB's been able to do for their identity and their toughness and just the way that they play?
Jalen Duren and JB met during the off season. Went out to link up, work out together. Really, JB challenging Duren to sort of take a step, take more ownership, scoring the ball. Him and Isaiah Stewart, as far as a tandem, is really walling off the paint from teams. That's, I think, been the biggest difference that JB has brought, is that he has really unlocked Jalen Duren in a way that the Pistons have not in the past few seasons. It's just given them an extra lob threat, an extra vertical threat, an extra physical threat. Jalen Duren is just one of the guys, like, imposing, right? When you see you're next to that guy, he is big, strong, just a guy who beats you up. It just doesn't seem fun to play against. So I think like that's been the biggest difference for them. Cade is obviously having an amazing season, MVP-like season, but having Jalen Duren really take a leap this year to that next level, the all-star level, is taking the Pistons, I think, from a nice story and a good team to a chance to the team has got to shape.
Is Cade Cunningham the best player America's never heard of? It just seems like he's playing so good. But when you talk about top 10 players, when you talk about top 15 players, especially at guard, his name doesn't seem to be ringing out or mentioned with some of those other guys. Is he, as good as he is he kind of still underrated?
I think no question, and that just comes with the fact that they haven't had, national TV, big exposure games, really before last year's playoffs and coming into this season. I think people are learning and starting to really figure out how good Cade Cunningham is. And the crazy thing is, he is really, a heartbeat away from the MVP award at this point. When you look at the injury concerns at, SGA and Joker especially, there's a real world here in a couple of weeks if those guys continue to miss time and miss some more times before the end of the season, where you can see Cade all of a sudden shoot up. The odds have gotten tighter on that MVP award already. I saw a comp about Cade and this compared it to that 2011 Bulls run. You had a point guard leading a really defensive-minded team with sort of just a stacked 1 to 10, but one young point guard that was a former number 1 pick leveling up in the way that was able to sort of carry the rest of the team. And obviously D Rose won MVP for that 2011 Bulls team. And I really like the comp, and I'm really curious of how that's going to sort of stack up going forward. The Bulls team, of course, fell short in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they were a really tough team that won a lot of games. And I sense some comparison there of young D Rose and young Cade of just kind of where they are in their ascension at this point in their career.
Jamal, as you get ready for tonight's game, and you've been assessing the Cavaliers over the last couple of weeks. I think I saw you at the Knicks game earlier this week. I believe you were in town. Yeah. What do you make of the early impression of James Harden in a Cavaliers uniform and his fit specifically with Jared Allen, who's playing out of his mind right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just couldn't have gone better. James is obviously pick and roll. Jared Allen, that's just automatic, right? That's a combo that you can see from the Clint Capella, Zubac. There's a whole lot of bigs in that same mold that have benefited from playing with Harden. I think it's the personality fit that I didn't realize was going to be as smooth. James seems to be already, he's chumming up with the young guys the other night in the locker room. He's kind of got that same easygoing feel that a lot of the Cavs guys have in that locker room. And he also just kind of meshes with Donovan. Think about the way their skill sets complement each other, scorer versus passer. They sort of both have this similar point in their career. They've won a lot as the leading man. They've got all these accolades, accomplishments, all-stars, NBA and such. But it really fell short, I think, of those expectations in the playoffs. And that commonality, I think, is interesting. And I would be encouraged by, as a Cavs fan, to see just how much his passing has unlocked these guys. And another word that people in the locker room told me is just the confidence. Confidence and patience that he has controlling an offense at the end of the game, down the stretch, at any point. That's just something that the Cavs, Donovan's a scorer. He's a guy who sort of can operate an offense, but it just gives you a different look. And I think Harden is really, it's early. It's honeymoon phase for sure for Harden. And a lot of teams go through this, but his fit with this team has just been much more natural than I think anybody could have expected before a move like this came along.
Jamal, if you had to pick who comes out of the East today.
I was just going to ask him that.
I beat you to it.
Gotcha.
I swear that's what I was going to ask him. That's really funny.
Who are you taking? It's tough, obviously.
It's a little early for it, but it's fair.
I just had this conversation that the case for the Cavs, I think, is as strong as it's been all season. And I think that they, with this Harden addition, the level it unlocks, as I kind of just mentioned, with having that dichotomy with Mitchell, you just see the team just feels like they're playing with more confidence, playing more renewed. I mean, that Knicks game was really impressive. And the way that they just sort of took it to New York compared to the first meetings they had earlier in the year. I mean, I think if they started the tournament right now, they just tipped it off and say, let's do the playoffs. Obviously, the Cavs have to get healthy and get back to full strength, but Harden compared with Keon Ellis, Schroeder, the way it lengthens out their team, I've been pretty impressed. I'm not just saying that because I'm here on this show, man. I've been really impressed with the way this is stacking up for Cleveland, and I think that early season adversity could end up being very good for them in the long run.
Well, both took my questions, so.
Sorry,
You got one.
I would actually. For me, I'm curious. I was leaning towards the Celtics, especially with the possibility with Tatum coming back. They're the most proven team, obviously, in the East. But I'm excited that you're picking the Cavs. I like that.
It's just a wild card, the Tatum piece of it. Like, is he?
True.
What is that like? I think if I have to see him, is he hold up? Is he playing 20 minutes? Does he look like his old self? I think that there's such an element for them that I had to see it before I'm comfortable with them. I think this Knicks thing, the Knicks have had stretches. Every time I think they're back, they have a loss that makes me, think the otherwise. I think every time they think they're struggling, they sort of rattle off some wins. I think the Knicks are still the next team to me that I would put on that East power rankings. And I think nothing from Detroit, man. Detroit's had an awesome season. I do think that this is a league that generally you have to lose, and it punishes teams a little bit. That's my only hesitation with Detroit, especially the game they had against the Spurs the other night. When they really kind of walled off Cade Cunningham, you saw Detroit struggle offensively, kind of to create offense outside of Cade. I think all four of those teams we just named, Boston, Cleveland, New York, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those teams win the East, and I think I have.
Tyvis Powell talked about it. He said, at this point, Evan Mobley went from the guy who we need to see take another step to, him being one of the sole guys to winning the championship. And now, because we feel like, especially in Cleveland, he's kind of taken a step back or hit a plateau when it comes to his offensive game. He's, to us, is an X factor. If he's playing well, you could beat a lot of teams. But the problem is you don't know when he's going to play well. What are your thoughts on Evan Mobley and his progression, and do you think he has hit a ceiling in terms of what he can be around the league?
I mean, it's funny that we just have had this conversation, right, and Evan's name hadn't come up until now, and I think that it does speak to another reason why I think this Harden move has become really effective. And Evan's obviously been working his way back from injury. I think he still has a better fit within this offense that they'll be able to hopefully find. Their hope they can find the rest of the year. But Harden takes pressure off of Mobley, right? Like, I think all the things that he's been able to do so far for Jared Allen, I think you'll be able to see him do for Mobley as they get more experience, more reps. And again, I just think that's why the Harden fit seems so natural and so like it's such a spot on player for this team, is that when Mobley's really feeling not involved, he has those spurts where he's kind of just kind of lost on offense. Harden is a guy who can recognize, maybe as well as anybody in the league at this point, as far as pure point guard, to recognize that, to feed Evan, to try to get him involved. He for sure has hit a plateau this season. I think a lot of people expected him to kind of continue rising offensively, and I think this is a really good mix for him. It's not all about him. It's not all about his pressure to do everything. I think he can really just kind of be house money, that he adds everything he does offensively, just adds to this team.
Check out Jamal and the rest of the ESPN crew tonight, 7 p.m. Pistons, Cavs. We'll all be watching. Thank you, Jamal. We appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great call.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
It's also an all-access game, so excited to see what we get from Jamal and his co-workers tonight in a primetime ESPN Eastern Conference matchup.
All right,
you guys ready to get to
Chats.
some Super Chats as we wrap up today's show? Lincia Wade says, in regards to the NFLPA report cards, don't you think the training staff and training room grades need to be addressed if the Browns are ever going to get better?
Yeah, they all need to be.
Of course.
They those are things that they got to put because it helps A, keep your players healthy, B, it attracts players that in free agency and trades that want to get there. So I do think the way you take care of your body and what you do works. And the Browns, I don't know, people the last couple of years, remember, they couldn't even get people to training camp. People couldn't even practice in training.
I don't remember what the training staff grades were in the past. I also think what a 10-year veteran thinks is a lot different than what
That's true.
rookies think.
That's right.
Yeah.
So these are important, and I'm glad the NFLPA does them, and the results should be taken seriously. But I also think if it's every single year, and you
Right.
then you got
Right.
a problem.
Yes.
If it's, and I don't remember what they were.
Right. If it had been good and then 1 year it's bad,
Yeah.
you could ignore it for
Yeah.
1 year.
I mean, the trainings, they got a partnership with the university hospitals, which,
right.
We have 2 world-class facilities in town,
Yeah.
in the clinic, and so normally the medicals in this town are top.
Yeah.
Like the Cavs are off the charts in medicals
Yeah.
because of their partnership with the clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one. DB Dog says, as a former player, Richardson showed me all I needed to know when he tapped out on the money down because he was tired.
That was a bad
he
look.
Can't trust him to lead my franchise.
Yeah, it was a really bad.
Yeah,
look.
Yeah, that's
what
bad.
you mean you
It's going to
tired?
be hard for people to get over that.
Yeah. Jalen Vera says, did anyone hear the interview with Andrew Berry on Cleveland Browns Daily where he said they aren't drafting based on need because we don't believe in that? It makes me think they possibly could take Caleb Downs at 6. Thoughts?
I mean,
Nothing he says in an interview matters, but
Yeah, I think they are.
especially in state-run media.
They are right now. They putting out a lot of material.
Yeah.
They putting a lot of stuff. I think they and Todd Monken is very good at saying a lot, but not saying too much.
I don't think it's crazy they could take a defensive player.
We had this. I don't know if you
yeah.
were on. I know you were. We talked about it. You go back and find it. We don't want to waste time on it now. But if you think he is a generational player
take him.
who's going to Canton, you take him.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
the only way, though.
Yeah, right.
like
you better be right if you do
You
that.
better be right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, next one. Brody's bottom line says, Jason, I'm a Shador fan and a Browns fan. Are you a Browns fan or do you just hate Shador?
Neither. I'm not a Browns fan, and I don't hate Shador. I've never claimed to be a Browns fan.
I am a definite Browns fan. I think.
And you don't hate Shador.
Oh no, I don't hate
Of
him.
course, there are Browns fans who like Shador.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of the people who have migrated here
Yeah.
are here for
There's
Shador.
a good chunk that are not
We are-
even football fans.
We are slowly trying to, as a person who likes both camps,
Yeah.
we're trying to get them over to the Brown side. We're trying to indoctrinate them. There have been a lot of converts, though. I would probably say it's about
Jason, you
25.
were a Browns fan as a kid, were you not?
Yeah, as a kid, the job is just beat the life out of.
But I'm saying, but you grew up here.
Yeah, I
you
grew
were
up in
probably
Cleveland.
a fan as a
yeah,
kid.
so I
But-
root for.
Unlike a lot of people in this business, Jason takes his job very seriously, and you lose your fandom.
Yeah, I don't know when you say it like that.
I say that as a compliment.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we're talking about sports.
Right.
I'm not investigating war crimes and.
No, but you have to.
It's more that the job just sort of beats the fandom
Yeah,
out of you.
right,
When
okay,
you
yeah.
go behind the curtain
Right.
enough times, it
And-
takes the fun out of it.
And you,
We'll see you on KYC in 3 minutes. Peace.